Welcome to Zarnia. For games and geekery, I'm John.
I am Adil.
And together we are
Bored to be wild.
Bored to be wild.
Bored to be wild.
Bored to be wild. You gotta
Bored
say it, you gotta be
be
more like,
wild.
listen, we have a dramatic channel to get through and we gotta be like dramatic and serious. Take us serious. Take us serious. Lee. Take us seriously.
My name's not Lee.
Can we start this again? Time out. Cut. Can we start this again?
How many reviews have
Welcome
we
to
done?
Zarnia for Games and
This is
Geekery.
like our
I'm John.
35th
This is
review.
Adil, and I wish I could do this solo. We are playing today Guild of Merchant Explorers. Adil, tell me about this game.
This is a game that can be played solo.
Great.
I have played it solo.
Well,
it's
why,
wonderful.
why are we here playing it together?
No, it can be played solo, which is one of the reasons I did buy it. But it can be played with a few other players as well.
Up to 4?
Up to 4.
Up to 5?
Up to 4. And it is quite a light game, which is sort of not that usual for me. I usually play slightly heavier games.
Yeah, but I can see why you got into this game.
I
All the cubes.
Totally. We are, as always, we are the cube pushers of the internet.
Love a good cube game. Love it, love it. These cubes are a little small.
They're tiny.
Yeah, we really wanted sort of
Chonky.
bigger,
Yeah.
chunkier, thicker, juicier cubes. What's the theme of this game?
It does what it says on the tin, right? It's the Guild of Merchant Explorers. So there's a little bit of, you're trying to create these trade routes, but at the same time, you're opening up the map. You're trying to establish villages in faraway lands. I'm kind of imagining the Portuguese explorers from way back in the day sailing off and into the far distance and eventually finding and founding Southern Africa, and as the fado plays in the background. That's kind of what I'm expecting with this game.
Okay, yeah. I think it's even cozier than that. This feels more like, I don't know, maybe a little like Mediterranean fantasy. Hey, we're not going around the Horn of Africa, we're just going to...
A few meters down the road.
Yeah, a few meters down the road. We're just like uniting the islands of Italy or something. I don't know.
It does, because you're right, it's a smallish map, and one of the things that's interesting about it is that each round, you reset the map. So you take all your cubes off the map. So you're not really building out this massive network as you might expect. You take all your cubes off the map, and the only things that are left behind are your villages. And these kind of, those are your new spawn points for the next round.
Okay, but how do we go about exploring these little cute maps that we don't even share? We've each got our own one to explore. Nice. Not terribly competitive, although at the end of the game you do tally up and compare your points.
And the points are just these coins, right? So you're just getting various number of coins.
Money.
It's kind of funny.
No, we did that now. Now we move on. What does a round look like in this game?
We just turn over a card. So you turn over a card and each of us does what it says. So in this case, we put down one cube on a mountain space.
Boom.
Boom. Turn done.
All right, that was easy.
Yep. And for a round, there are a number of cards, and each round you add a card. There are 5 actions which are on the board over here, which everybody gets to do. But the thing that makes it interesting is that there's one card in the first round which allows you to add new actions to your set. So when you hit one of those cards, you get 2 cards to choose from. One of them you put next to your board and will be an action that you can use for the rest of the game. But each of us is going to have a different action.
And not only that, the different actions available also come in an unpredictable order because of the shuffling of the deck. And that's what I found very interesting. You can be aiming for a particular strategy, but if you don't get the grass tiles in the right order, if you do get water tiles before the grass tiles or something, whatever your plan is, you can really kind of have a big setback.
True, it's a very tactical game because you do need to roll with whatever you're being dealt. You can't decide beforehand, okay, I'm going to go for these objectives and I want to place the 2 discovery towers before my opponent. You need to see what you get.
Sure, or you can push your luck, which is the other great thing about like games with like this nice random element, you know?
Yeah.
Sure, you could play it safe and just like adapt to what's happening, or you can mold fate to your own will, bending history to itself to achieve greatness.
Yeah, you could try to do that too.
With each of the cards representing different terrain types, the mountains, deserts, grasslands, and the ocean, and a little random something there too, you can start filling out not quite a trade route, but also like exploring a whole region, because am I right in saying it's almost like a set building game where you want to get the full set of this region in order to be able to get the next benefit?
Exactly. So once you've explored fully a particular area that's of the same terrain, you're then able to establish a village. And so each of the cubes sort of represents spaces that you've explored.
Yeah.
And then over time, you're going to build up a certain number of those. And each round, because you've got an extra card every round, each round gets a little bit longer. And that means that you're going to have more cubes filling up on the board.
The reason that you want to have a village is because villages are one of your starting points where you can start a fresh route from. Otherwise, we're all confined to starting at the same point in the middle of the map. And on our journey of discovery, there's a bunch of different decks and treasures that we can look at. Why don't you walk me through a couple of them?
The main one is the treasure deck, right? So the treasure deck is a set of random, either immediate benefits that you can get, but the other thing that it does is it allows you to have some extra end of game scoring. So it might score for specific kinds of structures that you've built, or it might score for a certain number of treasures that you've built up, etc. So
nice. So it might give you a little extra an extra goal to build towards.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there any way to screw your opponent over?
There isn't.
You sound disappointed.
Yeah. I
for one, am enjoying just having the company of friends and just relaxing with a nice game.
I think I've said this before, but some people use the phrase multiplayer solitaire as almost a negative, but for me it's quite positive. I do enjoy working and building your own, whether it's a route or an engine or whatever it might be, and not being affected by what other people are doing. So in this game, it's absolutely solitaire. Nobody else can affect what's going on in your board.
Yeah, the play can become asymmetrical because of this deck right here, the Investigate deck. What's in there?
A number of very big actions. So you can, place generally more cubes than you would with the standard actions. Sometimes they're going to work really well for your strategy. Also for the board, one of the things we haven't talked about is that you actually get 4 different boards in the base game. So there's a lot of replayability in that, right? So some boards will resonate better with certain of the cards that are in there. So you might not get the match that you're looking for. But sometimes you might just get exactly what you're looking for.
And they're not one-off either. So they occur every round. They're kind of part of your hand that you can continue to play. They are the cards that you keep on adding to the potential move set.
And I thought that it's really well handled in the game. So if the card comes up that has the specific number on it, you essentially just play the card that you have placed next to that number next to your board.
Very neatly done.
It's really quite neatly done, and each game is going to be different because you're never going to have the same kind of combination of cards.
I really like the aesthetic of the game. It feels very hand-drawn, the colors are harmonious, slightly muted, everything's specifically chosen. The colors of the components all match up into a general theme, which then comes through in the game manual and the other boards. It just feels cozy. This is the kind of game that I would play with a couple of friends, with some hot chocolate, some glühwein perhaps, just like make a lovely evening in front of the fire. It feels like a cozy winter game to me.
And as soon as you're done playing it once, I think you want to play it immediately again, right? And it's pretty quick. I think the first game, as always, takes a little bit longer. So maybe about 40 minutes or so, I think we took the first time. And once you know how it works, it really, really flows. And the thing that attracted me to the game is that it feels a bit like a roll and write game, but without the writing. And actually without the rolling as well.
So just an and then. It's not roll and write, then it's...
But it has, and someone described it as having the soul of a roll and write, which I thought is a great way to think about it.
So if you're looking for a vicious, brutal, head-to-head game full of combat, bloodshed, and all those gory things, you're not going to find it here. No.
No.
Instead, you're going to find a lovely, hot chocolate, warm fire, winter's day, sit around with friends board game. I don't know, I really enjoyed it.
Time to wrap it up, John.
Why am I wrapping? I just had a big chunk of things. I do a big chunk, you got a chunk.
You just said the whole thing that we said at the start. You just said it again.
Oh, well, okay, fine. I just wanted to reiterate our point in the closing thing. You could have just taken that as a moment to be like, okay, well, I'm going to wrap up this story now.
Wrap it up.
You left it all on me.
Because you're the rapper.
On
You're the
me.
rapper.
I am not the rapper. I am not going to do bad white guy rap.
Again.
That happened one time. If you would like me not to rap, please like, subscribe, and sign up to our Patreon. It's delightful, and you get all kinds of cute things as well.